Welcome to Geeks Between Worlds, the crossover podcast where pop culture collides.
Welcome to the show. I am your host, Oscar Lucio. We are in the studio today with Steven behind Mike and Joel over here producing. How you guys doing today?
Doing good.
Joel did double hand waves for everybody that could not see that. Straight up went T-Rex on us today. Now we are going to be talking about the betas we played this weekend, right, Steven?
A lot of betas.
It was 2. It wasn't really a lot, but yeah, sure. We'll go for that. Last weekend, we played Titanfall 2, the tech test, and this weekend we got to play the Battlefield 1, which was, like, super hyped up. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Let's just go ahead and start with the one we played first, then.
Okay, let's do it. So Titanfall 2, we clearly played first. Now, before we get too far into Titanfall 2, I want to go with the crossover concept idea real quick, okay?
Let's hear it.
So you have that Battlefield 1, right? And it's all about, being back in the day and all that goodness, right? Okay, well, what if there is a Titanfall 2 DLC and it's all steampunk? So it's just one game mode, and all your pilots are dressed in steampunk gear, and all of your Titans are like super steampunky, like big gears, brown kind of rustic looking colors, maybe instead of like the futuristic weapons, maybe you have like more back in the day weapons, like maybe just like a regular missile launcher, things like that, maybe like a good hammer blow or something.
I mean, can I still run on the walls?
You could still run on walls.
Okay.
Oh, heck yeah. It would just be a steampunk style like type of core, you know what I mean?
I'd be all for it. So just mainly like, yeah, I would play it.
Yeah, mainly what would change is just the style of everything,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you'd play in like an old west town, you know what I mean, that you can just completely demolish by the end of the map because everything's made out of just wood.
Say it.
Pretty sweet, right? It'd be like 3 maps maybe, you know what I mean? Everybody would have like top hats and like those like steampunk goggles on. It'd be pretty sweet. It would be pretty much just like the end of Wild Wild West with that big spider, that big steampunk spider.
Nice name drop.
Yeah, a lot of people don't really realize how much Wild Wild West had to do with bringing steampunk into light.
Did it?
I mean, think about that movie. That is a huge steampunk movie if you think about it. I mean, that whole movie is just steampunk bleeding with it. And they used to have toys at BK when that movie came out, and they got canceled because of the movie's, like, reputation. They were like, this movie's a little bit too adult, so they stopped doing toys. Same thing with Small Soldiers.
What?
Yeah, they had
Soldiers?
They had a bunch of toys for Small Soldiers, and then people watched the movie and they're like, this is kind of like an adult-ass movie in a way.
Well, it's not too adult, though.
It's kind of adult still.
They're freaking toys.
Yeah, but, I mean, come on. Tommy Lee Jones raining hellfire down on you. He's trying to fuck Barbies. Yeah, that's adult as fuck.
That's pretty adult.
All right, getting back to Titanfall 2. We got to play it last weekend. What were your initial thoughts on it?
I thought it was great. So I actually did play a decent amount of the first one.
And where I'm coming from, I did not have the Xbox One at the time. I just had the PS4.
Yep.
So I did not get to play Titanfall 1. I saw a lot of videos on it. I had a really good understanding of it, but
it was a big thing at the time. I didn't play it when the hype was still up, unfortunately, because it died down quickly. Multiplayer-centric game, no campaign.
Yeah.
It died down quickly. So when I got it, I got all of the DLCs, the whole game, for like $12
Yep.
on Xbox One. Played a good amount of it, but since there's not many people, I'm playing against the exact same people, generally just over and over again. But yeah, so the sequel is very similar to the first one. A lot of the same mechanics. There's a lot of added things to it, though, which is going to be nice. And, of course, the fact that it's going to be on PS4 now and everything, and there's going to be a campaign. I'm really excited about it. What about you, since you haven't played the series?
I have played one game that didn't have really a campaign to it, Battlefront. I really liked it because it's like the most Star Wars-y game there ever is, like super accurate Star Wars type of game. And, I was so into it for like a good amount of time, but then like, bam, I just fell out of it like overnight. You know what I mean? So I feel like how you would say with that first Titanfall game, how that would be a problem. But now that I don't have to deal with that and there is going to be a campaign mode, I feel like that campaign is probably going to be pretty legit. I really hated pilot versus pilot mode, though. The multiplayer mode where you just pilots, no Titans.
It's just dumb. It's like Battlefield, where it's just infantry, it's like there's no point to play the
Yeah,
game like that.
it's pretty much just Infinite Warfare that's about to come out, I think. You know what I mean? Because you have
Basically.
like that ripcord that like pulls you close, and it's like pretty much the same type of play style. You know, it's kind of like a Russian take points type of thing. You know, cover for like a good 30%, not like a lot.
Did you still have bots in the pilot versus pilot?
No,
Okay.
I want to say no.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So and then but there is a new game mode called Bounty Hunt, and that's something introduced in Titanfall 2, and I think that's kind of where the game shined, for me at least. Pretty much what it was is you had to kill grunts, specters, and which were just CPU enemies that spawned that you had to try to kill. You get money for each kill, and then you get like $20, you know, for grunt kills, stuff like that. Then when you kill a player, it's $100, and then about every 10 minutes, your bank opens. Probably about every 5 minutes, your bank opens. You got to try to cash in all that money, and that's how your team will win.
That's why that game mode was hard for me, is because it's hard to remember. I'm doing great right now. I should probably go cash my money in.
Yeah.
Instead, I'll die and lose half of it.
Or you're going to go to cash in your money, but then you have like two people on the opposite team cashing in, and then they just kill you.
Well,
Yeah, so, but it was nice. It was a very interesting, a very new type of thing. It was very much like cog tag collecting, you know, that we've seen in previous games, to where you just collect tags and then you got to try to turn in your tags.
yeah.
Same thing like that, you know.
Well, you don't have to turn in the tags in the tag collecting.
Yeah,
ones, I don't think so. So it is taking that extra step of being like, all right, now deposit.
Yeah, you got to try to go and make it to that point. So, but it is pretty nice. I like it. The points are very much spread out on the map.
Yep.
I actually really like the maps in Titanfall 2 also.
Yeah.
They were really unique, I thought.
Even in the first one, like the maps just they're a little different. There's a lot of verticality, and then the maneuverability is the best part of being able, once you figure out how to easily traverse around the map, whether you be in your Titan or whether you just be running around. I think that's where the game really shines. And so this was your first time playing the maneuverability and everything, playing the controls. How did you like the character movement?
It was really nice. It was, at some points, I felt like if I were to get onto a wall and it was too close to another object, and let's say my character's shoulder were to graze it, I feel like I would automatically switch to the other wall, which kind of screwed me up. But I feel like it's just something that I kind of have to master. I also didn't play like Advanced Warfare, that I think that was in, to where you could run on walls. And there was one in the Call of Duty games where and I didn't really get to play that either. I'm not much a big Call of Duty fan. You know, I played the shit out of Black Ops 2, and I haven't really went back to it since then.
I would say Call of Duty not stole it from, but copied it from Titanfall.
Yeah, so, no, absolutely, they did.
Yeah, and Titanfall, they just it's just perfected. Not perfected, but it's much better. I don't know if you can do this in the sequel, but in the first one, you're able to, when you're running on walls, you can hit like melee and actually knife the wall and kind of stay there for a little while and stay perched up on top of the wall and take people out.
In the second one, you can hang. And you can like just pull out your gun, and when you sight in, it'll just automatically make you hang on the wall, and you can just stay on the wall sighted in the second game.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool. And then I kind of, with the Titans itself, I thought the mobility was actually kind of poor. I don't know. I felt like, you know, the Titans are great, and I really like them in Bounty Hunt. It really makes the game, like, you know, super big and massive feeling, even though it's still only 8-on-8, you know? Mm-hmm. And when you got in a Titan, though, I just felt like I was walking in mud the whole time. And I think even, like, their little boost forward, like, just wasn't enough.
Yeah, they definitely have. You can only take the Titan to specific areas on the map.
Yeah.
And they make it so that you're not, you know, tearing through walls and stuff. And they also want to make it so you can only go through certain places so that the pilots have the opportunity to hide in buildings and stuff to get away from you.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah. So that's I think that's basically why the traversal's a little dumbed down for the Titans, is just to make it fair.
Yeah, no, and that makes sense. It is just such a big difference, so because that mobility with a pilot is just so there, and it's so quick and it's so rapid, and you can do so much. You know, like I said, you can pretty much get on any building, you know, that you want to, even just by jumping. You know, a lot of the times, the roofs are low enough to where you can just get on everything.
And especially with the grapple now, it's just that much easier.
Yeah, exactly. You're just able to go and just grapple and then go into wall run, which is super fun. I mean, that was something that was very cool, especially if you haven't played the first one, I think, because I picked that up and I was like, right away, I was like, okay, I want to master this.
Yep.
I didn't for
No,
sure. But
it takes a while. I got close to mastering it on the first one, so it's probably all lost now. And now I'm going to have to relearn it all.
yeah, you were still doing way better than me on the wall run. And then you switched up them Lucio controls on
about to say,
Overwatch,
yeah.
and now you're just able to wall run for days.
I'm all about the wall running right now.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
2016, the year of the wall runs.
That's going to be like a new Japanese thing. They're like, fuck the dragon.
The year
It's
of the
all
wall run.
wall run.
It's not racist, I swear.
But so now let's shift phases over. Let's get over to Battlefield 1.
First of all, do we know the date for Titanfall 2?
Joel, hit up that date, my friend. Joel's going to get to that. Now, getting into Battlefield 1, it was a very big hype, wasn't it?
Huge hype. And yeah, Battlefield 1 Battlefield has just had it going for so long since they released that trailer. Because Call of Duty released their trailer for Infinite Warfare.
Massive disliked.
Everyone hated it. And then Battlefield's like, okay, here's ours. It's going to be different. We're not going with the futuristic vibe. Here's World War I in Battlefield style. And people have been loving it since then. When they revealed it, they had people like Snoop Dogg and all sorts of Wiz Khalifa and stuff like playing against each other and stuff at that release night at I don't remember where they announced it at. Might have been E3. I think it was E3.
Yeah, and you saw Snoop Dogg going in, and we've actually talked about this scene before, but in that video, like, like they're trying to, get a good grip on like Snoop Dogg playing, and obviously you want to exploit that, you know?
Of course.
If you're making a game, you're like, Snoop Dogg's playing my game. But they just caught him at such a bad time, and like he was literally just standing still in a trench, and they're like, Snoop Dogg, cover in this trench, and he has a joint in his mouth.
He's got a bullet just hanging out.
And then like it zooms in on his TV, and you just hear the dude, and it's like, Snoop Dogg, cover in this trench, and literally Snoop Dogg is just there with his gun, crouching, uncrouching, crouching, uncrouching,
looking at the wall.
And then you just see like blunt smoke kind of haze over the screen, and you're like, that's good.
And when he was interviewed beforehand, they even told him, they were like, how are you going to win? He's like, well, I got a special weapon or a secret weapon up. And of course it was the blunt.
Yeah, of course.
He just walked, and no one's going to stop him.
I mean, how can you die if you're just high in a trench?
Exactly.
Oh, comes out on my birthday, October 28th.
If that's
son.
the case, that should be the first one.
That will be the first one. Check out that Battlefield release, buddy. Thank you. But I want to say that Battlefield comes out in November, right?
I think it does. And so, but going back to
that's going to be a great day. Titanfall 2, Rings the movie, and Inferno. Those are good. I want to see both those movies and play that game. So that's going to be a great birthday.
That would be a good day.
Yeah, I'm fantastic. And it's going to be a Friday.
And
wow.
It's a Friday?
Wow.
I'm going to have to request it off.
That's great. You better request off. You too, Joel. You better request these days.
It's happening.
It's happening. Oh, well, I guess you probably can't because we work together, yeah.
I guess you probably can.
I didn't really think of that. But, yeah, anyway, so.
But no, so Battlefield's got it going for them. And so when this beta finally came out, everyone is stoked about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it was much more hyped than the Titanfall 2 beta. And then Titanfall 2 beta got snubbed on PC, I'm pretty sure. I don't think PC got to play it. So that's kind of a...
Sucks for them,
I think they were just so important on trying to make sure the PS4 version worked because they knew where the money came from, I mean,
from that fucking PlayStation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo.
You got a release date on 21st.
October 21st.
Oh, October 21st.
Oh.
So, actually, Battlefield 1 will be out first. And that'll be on the previous Friday.
I
So,
don't...
which one are you going to buy when it comes down to it, Steven?
All right, so first and foremost, it's going to be Battlefield. I am planning on getting both of them, but if for any reason I had to choose, it would be Battlefield. Now, I don't know which one I'm going to be playing more. So let's talk some more about the beta for Battlefield. So it's only 2 maps.
It is only 2 maps, and it's
one
2 modes.
One for Conquest, one for Rush. It's separate maps on each. And it's normal Battlefield. I love it.
The play style is just so much different from every other shooter you play, It's like you have to really stick to cover. You really have to, try to scope out your snipers across the field before you go anywhere. You almost have to play it like a Metal Gear Solid game in a way. Like, there's just so much cover, and I found myself not even being able to play assault class because I would just get so dominated. Like, I would have to play scout most of the time, or else it would be me even trying to crawl along the map. There would just be that one moment where that sniper can see my head, and then bam, I'm sniped, even though I'm crawling.
Yeah.
So it is such a different play style, and it's something that you have to get used to. But when you play in a squad and you have a lot of communication, that squad can really help you out.
No, it really can. And you also have to kind of play to your class, not as much as like an Overwatch or anything, but you do kind of, if you're playing that assault class, you want to try to be taking out tanks. If you're playing scout, you want to be sniping people. If you're healing people or the medic, you want to be healing them. You don't need to as much as a game like Overwatch, but the more you do that, the better, the more points you'll get for your team and the more you'll be helping them out. But unfortunately, there are just a lot of people that just pick a class because of the gun and then run in and they don't use any of the abilities.
Yeah,
so
and you don't try to actually stick with the squad that you're in.
Yeah,
or
you use the vehicles not very well. You just use it to get from point A to point B.
I mean, I don't know how many times that a healer or a medic was within 6 meters from me and they didn't heal me after I got shot.
Even what's cool about it is they added a function to where if your friend's hurt, and you look at them, it'll say press R1 to throw a med pack at them, or before you'd have to press like right on the D-pad and throw the pack. Now you can throw the pack right at them.
Yeah, so that's sweet.
Yeah, so like I was trying to get used to it, but you're right. When I was playing with other people, they weren't really helping me as much. But that's where I feel like Battlefield, it shines when you're playing with your friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Two people playing same squad, or maybe a full squad. I don't play with the full squad much, but that's where it really shines.
It does really, and it's weird how big a difference it really does make. Now, my big question is that the beta was down for 10 hours its first day, and I think 2 hours its second day. Is this going to be the massive, chaotic failure that Battlefield 4 launch had?
There's no way. I don't think so. I think they really learned from it. Plus, Battlefield 4 had the problems with it being multi-generation console. Yep. It was made for 360 and PS3 and then kind of ported to PS4 and Xbox One. So Hardline had a much better launch. I think it was still a little rocky, but not as bad. And so this is their next game after it. I think they know what they're doing. They've learned from their mistakes. It's going to be released almost flawlessly. I'm positive of it.
You truly believe that?
I really think so.
I really hope so too, because man, that Battlefield 4, it kind of had that Halo Master Chief vibe to it, to where it was just messed up for so long.
Well, what's nice is at least Battlefield 4 came back.
Yeah.
Where I would say Master Chief never did. Like, I mean, people play it, but it didn't have that same hype, where there are people still playing Battlefield 4 now. Actually, I was just told from my buddy Curtis, he still plays the fourth one, they actually just released a new update that completely changes the menu UI, everything. They added like night mode to some maps. So what's nice is they're still supporting this game that's like 2 years old now.
And that's cool because it really does have that big multiplayer type of computer type of style, environment to the game. Mm-hmm. It really has that big, just like open map, 64 players, which is just totally PC derived.
Yeah, you're never playing like the same thing again. I
mean,
that's why they talk about Battlefield moments. Is it's always different. It's always crazy. So yeah, going back to which one I'm expecting on playing more between Titanfall 2 and Battlefield 1, I just don't know yet. I think it's going to depend on what my friends are playing, because I can see myself getting really deep in both of them. Probably Battlefield 1, but maybe Titanfall 2.
See, now, I feel like I would play Titanfall 2 better. Mm-hmm. I feel like I would be more successful at Titanfall 2.
I can see that.
To where I think that I would have to play with people for Battlefield 1 for me to really, really enjoy it and want to keep going at it. Yeah. I mean, granted, that wasn't always the case for Battlefield 4. So I don't really have the full feel of the game. When I played Battlefield 4 a good amount when it first launched, but I mean, soon after that, I didn't at all. Mm-hmm. So it's like I said, it's just rule 50-50. I feel like I won't have many people playing Titanfall 2 though.
See, that's the thing. I don't. Most of my friends will probably be playing Battlefield 1, especially since this isn't Yeah, they didn't get to play Titanfall 1, so they might not think about like, oh, why would I want to play? They might think, why would I want to play Titanfall 2 if I haven't played the first one, which makes no sense. But I can see people kind of getting that mindset.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like I'm only going to be playing Titanfall 2 with people like you, or we'll see. Like,
and I feel like, and I too, granted to where I think that Titanfall was such a big launch and it was just so important for Xbox. I feel like if people haven't played the first one, I don't think that'll kind of mess with them too much. I don't think that'll be a deterrent to not play it. But at the same time, like you said, my roster of friends on my PS4 just totally outshines my Xbox roster of friends. And quickly I can see us, me and you, plus 2 friends like Nick and Tyler playing a squad in Battlefield, and it'll just completely change that experience at the same time. So I think I'd be better at Titanfall 2. I think I'll end up playing Battlefield 1 though more. Yeah. Just for that reason of that people, it'll have that community. And especially if it launches good. If it launches good, then I think
it will.
Then I think
I'm crossing those
dollars.
Fingers.
You got dollars on it.
Yeah, I'm crossing 2 fingers for it.
That's 8 fingers.
8 fingers. 4
Math.
crosses.
Math.
And 2 thumbs.
And 2 thumbs.
Yeah.
Are fingers thumbs?
No.
No? Not at all.
Wait, are thumbs fingers?
Oh. Now that's the question.
Thumbs aren't fingers.
Thumbs aren't fingers? Not
fingers
even a little bit?
Fingers are not thumbs.
They're separate. I feel like they're appendages of the palm, and they should all be in the same type of like community, like.
Yeah, but some people don't have. Some animals don't have thumbs.
But they have fingers.
And they have fingers, so I mean they can't be in the same community. We're better because we have thumbs.
What if, those animals just had a finger where the thumb was? I mean, wouldn't that just be the same thing, really? You just have a longer thumb, which is probably what's going to happen since we have all these phablets and stuff. In about 25 years, we're all going to have longer thumbs.
Well, I was reading somewhere that there's a study that people who use their phones a lot, they actually have more sensitivity on the end of their thumbs than someone who doesn't, because we're using it much more than anyone else.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. I was shooting up some heroin in the thumb the other day, and I thought it was real sensitive.
That's the place to do it these days.
Oh, yeah. It's called the Heroin Thumb Diaries. It's like Tech Deck, but for heroin. Does anybody remember Tech Decks?
Yeah.
You just got real disappointed.
I just don't see how you're relating Tech Decks with shooting a heroin into your thumb.
Okay, well, let me bring it to you real quick. Okay. Do you remember Tech Deck, like, vividly, okay? Do you remember how most of those thumbs looked? They looked like little fucking shitheads, didn't they?
The Tech Decks?
Yeah, like the
little
thumb little character.
Oh,
yeah, and he was always real fucking smirky.
Well, we still have the Tech Decks, and they ditched the thumb.
They ditched the thumb completely?
Yeah. So
the thumb wasn't selling. The thumb wasn't selling.
No, it wasn't selling.
I feel like that's the only reason why I got Tech Decks was to get a thumb sticker.
Man, I did it so I can do crazy flips, man.
You couldn't do shit on a Tech Deck.
I was a great fucking
That is
Tech
bullshit.
Decker. I was.
That is bullshit.
Just like I'm great at video games, I'm great at Tech Deck.
So if I get a Tech Deck skate park, and we make a little video of it,
I'll tear that shit up.
You're gonna ESPN some Mountain Dew tour that shit?
Tear that shit
Dude,
up.
it's a fucking challenge.
All right, done.
I mean, I'll probably have to put up the money for it, like always, but that's cool.
I mean, I should be winning money. That's how good I'm gonna be.
Like, we should just place bets?
Sure.
Should there be, like, judges?
Definitely. Thumb judges.
Oh, my God. That'd be fantastic. All right. Getting back to it. We went a little too crazy there. I actually want to talk about something that's really important to me in Battlefield 1, and that is the guns. They sound fantastic, don't they?
They scare the shit out of me. I got sniped by the starting sniper, and it scared the shit out of me. Like, granted, I have my Turtle Beach surround sound headphones, so those things are loud as fuck as it is. And yeah, just I got shot one time, and I'm just like, it scared me. And like, I knew I was about to die, so I got shot the first time, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, he's here. And then I jumped so high the second shot.
No, it is real, dude. Like, when you have like your carbines, like the sound of the shot is just so prominent. It sounds so good, and I think that's really important to me. I think that was really important to me once I played like Halo 4.
I was about to say Halo 4 had
a fantastic sound bites to all their guns, and that's when I really started paying attention to that. And I mean, the guns from Battlefield 1 to Titanfall 2 just blow it out of the water. You know what I mean? And it seems like there's a good amount of customization too to like those guns. I don't know how many guns you're going to be able to unlock, but
on which one?
Battlefield 1.
It's probably going to be tons. That's how it was with Battlefield 4. By the time you get to the end of it, there's tons of guns. Plus, every DLC is going to give you like, I don't remember how many, 3 to 5 more guns that you can unlock, and so that's what's so nice about it.
Is that replayability factor?
Yeah, it's just you playing over. You're playing the same maps all the time, but you're unlocking all these new guns. You're getting better at them. You're getting new attachments to them. The attachments on Battlefield games get real too. You're just like, do I want to have this on? I don't know if they're going to be able to replicate that with it being in the World War I era, but I'm
sure it'll work.
Yeah, I'm sure it still will. So far, it's been fine. What I've noticed is all the automatic weapons so far I don't really like, because they are like super strong, but they're not as accurate.
Yeah, no, the accuracy is way off on a lot of those guns. So, even like when you're shooting multiple shots with the carbine, it's kind of hard to recenter.
At least it's better with the carbine, and that's mainly what I'm going to be using.
Yeah, I used a couple automatic guns, and you really have to just like spray your shots, or else it's just you just can't even use it. You have to just because
but they're strong. Like the bullets are strong. So I mean, if you do hit them.
Well, and that's where the Battlefield and the Call of Duty just really are similar. Like it's not a game to where you guys are having like a shooting fest at each other. Like it's like luck of the draw, really, you know, and that's how you determine who dies. Because like Overwatch, you know, you just be healing yourself, and you just be going. And, that Overwatch.
We did really bad at Overwatch last night.
We did. It was like the worst night we ever played.
Yeah.
And then before that, listeners, I went 44-2 with Diva. Yeah, 44-2. That's fantastic. An average of 21 kills a life. Didn't mean to make your panties wet. You're welcome.
It happened.
You're welcome.
I was there.
I mean, that's what happens when you try to fight a 14-year-old girl.
It was also 3 matches combined into one. Just throwing that out there.
44.
It was still
44.
I got 35 with the Reaper.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Those are still the 2 highest kill counts I've seen all week that we've been playing.
So we're just doing kills. We're just not.
Oh no! We played the fucking objective.
We tried.
I had like 4.5 minutes on that objective clock.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I know.
The subject.
Yeah, how about you step up your game? All I'm saying is sometimes Steven will pick Widowmaker when we got 1 minute left to get in the fucking territory, and I'm like, I don't say anything. I'm like, do your thing, but I'm like, maybe you should get a character that rushes. That's all I'm saying. I don't mean to put that out there, but I just did it.
I took out like 3 people from afar, and then that's your shot. That's when you rush.
Yeah, but I mean, you can easily just grapple down and at least get in the objective. We're not going to get into we're not going to get into teammate play.
Generally, I switch to all right, all right,
that's good. You knew you kind of lost. You're like, probably should kind of do that. Yeah, but I mean, it's okay. I don't blame you too much.
I switched to her once I die because I'm rushing too much. Then I'm like, all right, maybe it's time to not rush.
Yeah.
And then I switched to her.
Just a little bit too much Ukrainian, a little too much Russian. Huh?
Sure. We'll go with it.
No, seriously, you need to rush the fucking objective, Steven.
Okay.
But another game that we play in side note is Enter the Gungeon. That's a great game. We only got it for $9. Too bad there isn't multiplayer on it though. Online. Yeah, there's only couch.
Even the couch is complicated.
Yeah.
I think you have to beat through. We might not even be able to do it yet. I think you have to go through the dungeons.
Yeah.
I
can't even beat the second damn boss. It's a game to where it's an 8-bit type of dungeon crawler, 16-bit, and every time you load in the gungeon, it completely generates a whole different gungeon with a different boss and different guns in it. It's fantastic. It's great so far, but we just can't get far in it at all.
If there was online multiplayer, I'm sure we would have beaten it by now.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I want to ask is, was there a Titan only type of mode in Titanfall ever?
There was definitely one in the first one. It was released a little later. I think there was at least, and there was also one where like you have a computer titan going around and you just trying to stay alive while this computer titan's running around killing you all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was also a fun mode.
Now, do you think any of those modes are gonna make a comeback in this game?
Yeah, I think so, but I don't know. I don't think the modes are as important in Titanfall 2 as they are in like Battlefield. As weird as it is to say, like Battlefield, I know I'm going to be playing specific modes, mainly Conquest, maybe a little bit of the Rush. I'm sure they're going to have air superiority in it and stuff, and I want to play that. But when it comes to Titanfall 2, I'm like, I don't really care which game mode I'm playing as much. I'll just play through all of them.
Now
I'll probably find one I like and just.
And it makes sense with Titanfall 1 having those game modes because it really didn't have anything else.
Yeah,
you said, no campaign. Same thing with Star Wars Battlefront. You played that. It was just a bunch of different, online multiplayer modes, which, like I said, it pleased your time. And, like, if you like the game, then the thing is with Battlefront is, like, you totally like the game or you just totally hate the game. I feel like there isn't a lot of gray area. And even, like, when you like it, eventually you just stop playing it.
Yeah, no, I was about to say, I was like, there's gray area. But no, that you're right. I did like it, and then I just stopped. But that's because there was nothing to unlock.
Yeah.
In Battlefront, like eventually, it was just like, there's nothing more for me to strive for. Whereas that's not the case in like Battlefield 1 or Battlefield 4 at least. So, yeah, that's why I stopped playing it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think when Battlefront 2 comes out, because they'll make one, that game made a shitload of money.
They will.
And I think just like how Titanfall 2 is doing, there'll be a campaign mode. And, and then they'll kind of probably dumb down all your modes in multiplayer, but that's what everybody wants, Yeah. I mean, it's a Star Wars story.
Exactly. And then it's not like everyone wanted a campaign. It could just be a small little 5-hour campaign, just make people happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because no one's going to play it again after you play it once.
Yeah, and then, just do DLC campaigns, You could even just do like certain missions, like just like certain missions that are perfect to the story of Star Wars. And now here's another question. Okay, they confirmed that they aren't going to be going into the Force Awakens stuff.
Yeah.
Now
Bullshit.
Will they go into Rogue One though?
Yeah.
They will.
Yeah, they've already announced. I think the next DLC is going to be on the Death Star, and it's going to be like just. I think it's either like inside or like on the outside, like a normal battle. But I think one of them is going to be the trench run too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That'd
so I mean,
cool.
they're still do fan servicing. It's just.
Yeah.
Again,
I'm not gonna lie. If there's a huge Rogue One update, that would make me play it. Because I mean, you get like new fighters and everything like that. I just would like to see. I even like playing Battle of Jakku mode.
I played it like once. I won't lie. I sold the game.
You sold it?
I sold that shit.
I really like the aircraft modes, when you're flying and stuff.
Well,
I'm really into the flight games, you know me.
Yeah, that's all I do in Battlefield, by the way. That's going to be me in the biplane all day.
Yeah, you are always in the biplane, you know what I'm saying?
Fucking hate you.
Sometimes your planes are just totally curved, you know what I'm saying? So
I'm going to throw this cup at you.
Yeah. I bought you that iced coffee, so you watch yourself, or else you'll never get an iced coffee again. You saw the size of that iced coffee, and you were so disappointed. You looked at me like I was such a cheap bastard.
Well, after you get those Route 44 fucking iced coffees.
Yeah, okay, so me and Steven go to a Sonic at about, I want to say 9:45. Yeah, 10 o'clock, okay? He asked for a Route 44 ocean water, and then I asked for a large iced coffee. They gave me a Route 44 iced coffee, and it was the biggest fucking iced coffee of my life. It was insanity. We ended up staying up for like 4 more hours that night, obviously because of that coffee. I mean, like I kind of started switching, and I look over and Steven's like already falling asleep, and I'm like, fuck, man, this fucking coffee really fucking did it, man.
This fucking coffee.
Yeah, that shit was real. But one thing that I noticed too is like, I don't know if it's because of the beta or not, but I didn't play as much Battlefield 1 beta as I thought I was gonna.
I played a good amount. It just once you play a game mode twice, you're kind of like, it's the same map. So, yeah.
Now,
that's what I do with every beta. I basically just play it a little bit, get the controls, kind of feel like what I like about it, what I don't like, and then I kind of put it down and wait for the actual game. Because there's some people, I saw that, because you do level up in the beta, and if you do level up to like 40, which would probably take like a good weekend, you do start unlocking higher end guns that you can test out. So yeah, there's probably some people doing that, but I didn't care to do it.
Yeah, I didn't care to do that either. Also, will Battlefield 1 bring players into Battlefield if they weren't in it? Do you think that's what type of game this is, or do you think it's not going to have that presence?
I think so, and I don't think that's specifically what they're aiming for. I think they're aiming for the people that like Battlefield, but I think with people hating on the Call of Duty stuff yeah, I think it is going to bring in new players. Like I'm seeing all over the place RIP COD or hashtag RIP COD.
Yeah,
because I guess they just officially showed the first multiplayer gameplay for Infinity Ward, and all I saw was hashtag RIP COD, because nobody cares. The only reason why people care about Call of Duty is because they're re-releasing Modern Warfare, the first Modern Warfare.
No, it's the first one. Modern Warfare, yeah.
And it's going to be all the maps, 10 maps at first, and then they're releasing the next 6 later. But you have to pay $20 extra for that. So you have to pay you have to pay for the $80 Infinity Ward game, and the $80 version comes with Modern Warfare 1 remaster, campaign, and multiplayer.
Yeah,
which is just bullshit.
It is, and I don't know if that'll be like that for always.
They said that they don't plan on releasing it separate, but I mean, who knows? Like they could do it
if they have bad enough sales. I think it'll happen.
Yeah, but yeah, so I think a lot of people are going to transfer over to Battlefield for reason for that, or Titanfall 2. But the majority I think are going to be like, oh, let me try Battlefield. Like one of my buddies, Spencer, great at shooters. Like he's fantastic. We gave him Battlefield 4 because we were playing it the other day. And yeah, he just didn't know what he was doing because he's never played any of them. So yeah, I could tell he hasn't played a Battlefield game. He doesn't know, and I think, but he wants Battlefield 1. So I think that is going to get him onto it. So yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of players like that, which is going to be really cool.
Yeah, I think that it has a chance of getting people into it just because, number one, the name. If you name something 1, it just makes you feel like it's a more approachable type of game. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's why people start dropping numbers for stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, is Resident Evil 7 even called Resident Evil 7, or is it Resident Evil Biohazard?
It's Resident Evil Biohazard.
Yeah,
I don't think it's actually named 7.
Not,
I mean, it is 7, yeah, but I don't think it's named 7.
Yeah, see.
I can't wait to get that RE4 on the PS4 also.
It's already out.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to grab that. I should probably grab that today while we're out and about.
You probably should.
That's a fantastic game. My favorite Resident Evil of the whole series. Hands down.
One of the best survival horror games.
Second Resident Evil game in the series would have to be Resident Evil, the DS. What is that called?
The 3DS one?
Yeah.
Something Revolution. Or Resolution, or
yeah, Resident Evil Revolutions. Yeah, Revelations. Fantastic. That is probably the best, like personal, like handheld console game I've ever played. One of them has to be.
Wow, nice.
Especially on a 3DS. Like that just took the cake on. Like when I'm able to put headphones in, and then turn off my lights and play that game and get legitimately scared, like. That's what that game is. Like, that's a fantastic game.
Yeah.
And it ended up getting ported to a bunch of different consoles because it was so fantastic. Did you ever play Revelations 2?
No.
Also fantastic. You can get it cheap these days, and it is a really good game.
Because that was the episodic one, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it is a little strange, but now, they just sell everything together.
Of course.
Yeah, so.
Which they should do from the start.
Which they should do for everything, and which is what they're not going to do for Final Fantasy VII.
Let's not even get into
Yeah, Final Fantasy 15 delayed.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, it is bullshit. But you knew it. You knew it when you saw when you saw that E3 demo on the Xbox. That was fucking horrible.
Yeah, but I watched the live announcement where they said this game is coming out September 30th, and everybody freaked out.
Yeah.
And then what's funny is they even joked, and they showed November 30th. And then they changed it, and they're like, just kidding, September. And now they're like, just kidding again, November.
I was in middle school when they announced this game.
Well, the separate When it was versus 13, yeah.
Yeah, when they announced the game. I was in middle
It
school.
was like 11 years ago.
I was graduating middle school. I was in 8th fucking grade. Thanks, Square Enix. That's cool.
Thank you.
Why don't you just make, 3 Deus Ex, 2 Tomb Raiders, and 4 Hitmans before you give me that game? That's cool too. That's cool.
That's what they do.
Because we all totally want all those games. Well, I mean Tomb Raider, yeah, and a
Just
lot of
Tomb
people really
Raider.
like Deus Ex, but they say Mankind
the first
Divided
one-
is fantastic.
yeah, the first one
that's what
had,
they say.
not the first one, but the other one had, Human Revolution had problems. People are freaking out about Mankind Divided.
Yeah.
I just don't have $60.
Now
to throw
on your total opposite spectrum, Lara Croft Go and Hitman Go are fantastic titles.
there.
They are.
What's the newest one? Oh, Deus Ex Go.
Yeah, which I
Duh.
haven't played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, same.
Yeah, they're literally porting all of those games to Go Adventures, but they're great.
Yeah, I can get Hitman Go on my Vita now. And
You
platinum
were
it.
who showed me Hitman Go when it first came out, and
I
that was great. Yeah,
I did, didn't I?
yeah, you did. It was great. But other than that, that wraps up today. That is our better beta. Now, just which one? Which was the better beta?
Battlefield 1.
Battlefield 1, right off the bat.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to just say Titanfall 2 just because I personally wanted to play it more.
Okay.
But I think that the game, when they come out, it won't be that.
It won't.
Yeah, I think just because it was a new experience for me, that's the only reason why. So,
I get you.
but next time we are going to be talking about Fall TV, previews, maybe some reviews. We have to catch up on Supergirl. We have not watched Supergirl, but we will catch up. It comes out on Netflix September 10th. So if you haven't gotten to watch it, it hasn't been streaming anywhere, so it's been super hard. So check that out, and let's get ready for Superman and Supergirl, because I'm excited. We're going to finally have like a Justice League on CW. I mean, we've kind of had that already, but now it's with Supergirl, so like it's legitimate.
It is.
Yeah, it's super legitimate. I mean, we won't get a Batman, but that sucks.
We don't need Batman.
GBW out.
Thanks for listening. Like what you hear? Subscribe now and feel free to drop us a rate and review. Stay current with all things Geeks Between Worlds.